A big story we've been watching for you throughout the day. Tonight in New Orleans, Bourbon Street is back open, but the investigation into the New Year's terror attack still ongoing.
Yeah, today, the FBI lowered the death toll, by the way, from 15 to 14. More than 30 others were injured. And the FBI also saying they now believe that the suspect, Shamsuddin Jabbar, acted alone while continuing to say he was inspired by ISIS. The FBI is investigating the attack as an act of terrorism. 6 on Your Side reporter Ella Wales found out what factors law enforcement look at when classifying an act of violence as terrorism. She joins us now here in the studio. Ella.
Dawn, an incident must meet several criteria to qualify as an act of terrorism, and investigators are tasked with proving it meets the legal definition. Former FBI Special Agent Jason Pack, who worked in the Knoxville field office, tells us how law enforcement classifies an attack.
When the FBI or federal law enforcement looks at acts of terrorism, they're looking for motivations of the suspect, political ideations or motivations, and what their motive was in doing that. And so they're looking to see, was the person working on behalf of a foreign government or was influenced by a foreign government?
Pack, who spent 20 years with the FBI, says evidence gathered early on in the New Orleans investigation indicated it may be an act of terrorism.
In this particular case in New Orleans, investigators clearly saw the flag on the back of the suspect's vehicle. They've also discovered that there were some online videos that he posted just before he committed the act. So those things all go to motivation and ideology. They concluded a search warrant earlier today in Houston at the person's residence, and so between the investigators and probably the profilers that are looking into it, they're going to try to take a look and see if there are any other clues in there as far as ideation or motivation goes.
The legal definition of domestic terrorism defines it as activities involving violations of U.S. federal or state laws that are dangerous to human life, occur within U.S. jurisdiction, and appear intended to intimidate or coerce a civilian population, influence government policy via intimidation or coercion, or affect the conduct of the government by mass destruction, assassination, or kidnapping.
Federal investigators and the FBI are charged with having to prove that in court. So there's a specific legal definition of terrorism that the FBI must prove in order to take their case to the U.S. Attorney's Office to prosecute under a federal terrorism violation.
Domestic terrorism is on the rise, according to the U.S. Government Accountability Office. Between 2013 and 2023, domestic terrorism-related investigations grew by 357%. And of note, the Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside of the Vegas Trump Hotel is also being investigated as a possible act of terrorism, with the driver today being identified as a member of the Green Berets.